going to exacerbate inflation in Canada.
When was the last time you ever thought to yourself, man, the cost of gas is just too cheap? I really wish gas was like 10 or 20 cents higher. Well, guess what? There's someone somewhere in Trudeau's government who apparently did have that thought. Because over the last year, they decided to add another tax on your fuel. On January 1st, the Liberal fuel regulations, it's really a second carbon tax, officially went live.
This tax, this pricing on carbon will be...
This is such a bad decision. I want to talk to you today about the cost of energy.
How do you justify to a mother of 4 children, 3 grandchildren, physical disabilities, and working up to 15 hours a day, how is it justified for you to ask me to pay a carbon tax when I only have $65 left of my paycheck every 2 weeks to feed my family?
Of course, only Liberal politicians and wealthy elites could look at the last year and think, things are just too cheap for everyone. The reality is their carbon tax 2.0 is going to add an extra 10 to 20 cents a liter on gas and diesel, and that's almost $1,300 per year. But the worst part is these taxes aren't offset from each other. The NDP-Liberal costly coalition are stacking them on top of each other. So Canadians will pay 60 cents a liter more just to fill up their cars. $2 a liter gasoline, that'll become the standard. So let's take a few minutes and walk through this second carbon tax.
But most people just don't realize how much hard work it takes before gasoline can come out of a pump and into the tank of an automobile.
The Liberals first announced their fuel regulations in 2016 as a part of sweeping measures to punish Canadian energy producers and to tax Canadians. Here's what'll happen. The Liberal fuel regulations will mandate an annually increasing percentage blending of alternative fuels with normal gasoline. That sounds okay at first blush, right? But the crazy thing is, the Liberals don't know where these blended fuels will come from. I asked for it, but turns out the government doesn't collect data on blending operations or the sources of the fuel. Now, this is a really key issue. Canada produces some ethanol and alternative fuels, but still relies on imported ethanol from the US. Canada imported a record 1.5 billion liters or $2 billion worth of ethanol from the States, and this will go up under the Liberal fuel regulations. There's also something remarkably short-sighted about using food for fuel, especially when food prices are skyrocketing and Canadians face both energy and food insecurity. We could talk about that more in another video. On top of all of that, companies will have to register for a complicated tracking system to log their progress. It's so complicated, the Liberals needed a 102-page document to explain just how to sign up. Look at this. This is all the material just to sign up and start getting tracked in this new program. We all know where this is headed. A lot of taxpayers' dollars and a lot of bureaucratic waste. Well, you've probably heard that economists are warning that Canada might go into a recession soon. So it's really wild that the Liberals are going to impose this second carbon tax when the analysis shows that every single sector of the Canadian economy will decline because of it. Apparently the Liberals don't care, and they're just going to add all these costs anyway. This, of course, is yet another Liberal plan that sets targets first and then asks all the practical questions later. It'll increase red tape for businesses and cause Canada to become even more reliant on foreign suppliers to meet domestic energy needs, all because an Ottawa politician decided to set an arbitrary percentage target. But don't forget, this will be a cost of $1,300 a year in hidden taxes. But it's not working. They've missed every single emissions target, and it's just made everything more expensive. So hold on, let's bring this back to the Liberal fuel regulations. First of all, the Liberals brought in the carbon tax. They told you it would never go up. They told you you would get more money back than you pay in, and both of those things are false. Now, they're gonna bring in a carbon tax 2.0, and they have no plan. They can't tell you where the fuel is gonna come from. They can't tell you how it's actually gonna work. But the one thing that is the same between both of those taxes, the consequence for you is that it's gonna make everything more expensive. To the Liberals, the solution to every single problem is just to make life more expensive and take more money away from you. That's what we're fighting against. But we need your help, so share this video with your friends and family, especially if you know anyone in a Liberal riding, and tell them to call their MP and let them know that Canadians don't want this second Liberal carbon tax, or any carbon tax at all. And as always, thanks for watching.